Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County. We're out here at the 28th annual Atascadero Lakeside Wine Fest. We got George here with Central Coast Brewing, and I don't know, George. George, what do we got here?
You're speechless on a podcast.
I really am.
I mean, so
You got a swing.
It's not a swing. It's a puppeteer.
Oh,
It is the beer puppeteer. This is a game of skill. So at a wine festival, that's usually just getting the drink to your mouth. But at a beer or a wine festival, this is something that you put where the mic would be. There's a cup, a little bit of counterintuitive puppeteering, and then the beer gets in your mouth. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So you have to work for your beer, which is okay. Gives you a little challenge. We also have two of these, so you can challenge your mate. And not be outdone by someone that maybe isn't of the same caliber, or you can kind of, you can do brackets. You can go next round.
Well, I remember last year. So last year you came on here with this big goblet of beer.
Still have it.
And it's always a surprise. It's always a surprise when you came on
your
here.
toes.
You totally do.
So
George, tell me a little bit about Central Coast Brewing.
28 years on the Central Coast in San Luis Obispo. We've moved around a little bit, but for most of those 25 years, we were on Monterey Street. We still are on Monterey Street. We just moved up the street to what is now called the Hub, which has us in Crowbar. So CCB on one side, Crowbar on the other side. So we have distillery, brewery, a little bit of interface of large space, so we can put 300 of your closest friends in there and still have room for another 100 people and another 100 people and another 100 people. So we had 983 people in there on graduation weekend.
900.
And we were still under
people.
code. So
wow.
we didn't have any fire department problems. We were just jamming. And so it's one of the largest spaces in the county from a casual standpoint. And then we still have Higuera. Higuera is our production facility with the restaurant. And unfortunately, we did finally, after squatting for I don't know how many months, we lost our original location on Monterey, which is now going to be housing for, low income and seniors.
Oh,
so it's a positive mood.
It's kind of a win.
And the building really needed to go. So as much as the bittersweetness at our end, from a community standpoint, it's a great move, and we got a great space out of it. So, it's a win-win.
I keep looking at this thing and looking around you. I'm like, what are we doing here?
So literally, the idea of this, and I'll show you without the beer, is to pull this up towards your face with the strings, tilt it, not tilt back, tilt this, and pour it into your mouth.
Okay, George, I'm gonna have to ask you to try to do this with the mic.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this is without the beer because we don't want a beer all over the place here.
So you literally are rolling it up, and then
you twist,
and then the
drink.
beer. Yeah. So and as you get closer to it,
and the whole idea is to drink it faster than the other guy.
You just don't jerk emotions or leaning. See, it's a puppet. I mean, it really is.
So did you come up with this?
No,
Where
I
did
can't
you
take
find
credit.
this?
I saw this at Oktoberfest in Germany 12 years ago. And I met the guy, an older gentleman, and I went home and called him. And then when I called him, unfortunately, he was no longer with us.
Oh.
He had passed away in the week since I'd seen him.
My
and he was
God.
in his 80s.
Okay.
And his wife answered the phone, and she had sold the patent to somebody who just sat on it for a while. And then, the concept isn't unique. But we did buy these from a gentleman online, and we're going to probably change it a little bit, a little more sturdy. This one's a little more of a game than
I think
commercial. But it needs to be like an aluminum frame with a sturdier, more dual friendly.
Some
fat
adjustments.
guy, short guy. Yes.
But a little bit of modification.
Yeah, but we're using the crap out of it. People love it. We go to beer festivals. We go to wine festivals. We go to,
Has anybody used them today?
Mixes. Oh yeah, we've been doing it all afternoon.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a crowd hit. So it gets people to your booth if you need to, like maybe you're in the wrong side of the town. We're in a great spot tonight. We've always been down here in the little calm under the trees, shady spot. So where our place is, where the truck fits, has always been nice. But so we don't need a whole lot of reason to come down there, but still, it's fun to watch people. And
Well, George, tell me about the inspiration. I would say 20, maybe 30 years
27
ago.
years ago, what was I thinking?
Yeah, well,
I was a dumbass. I went to lunch with a friend of mine at a bank, and he said, this brewery's going to be available. You should buy it.
But you were obviously brewing before that.
I was brewing as a home brewer,
Okay.
barely.
And people were digging it.
No, this was just me. This was just family and friends,
Right.
barely.
But they loved it.
No, they didn't even love it. I'm like your best friend barbecuer. It was 99, 97, 96. I mean, beer was a different game. So I had made an amber. I'd made an ESB that I really liked when I was in London, and no one over here had ESBs. And then Red Hook, I mean, we're talking 85, 86, 87. Red Hook ESB out of Seattle. Started to get a little legs on ESBs in the U.S. market. And I made an ESB. It's like, wow, it's a really light amber. So similar to this one, Cervantes.
Okay.
This is a Vienna lager. So my original one was an ESB, but it was that red amber. Go ahead and open it.
All right. Well, I got that one open, but I'm going to have this one. I'm going to set this down.
Pour it in there. We can, through the magic of radio.
Yes, sir. Oh, let me give you a little side action there.
So, typical amber ale, which now is cool again. So in the 90s, mid 2000s, think of Fat Tire, think of Red Hook, ESB. Kind of all died. You don't see many ambers anymore. Pete's Wicked, had an amber derivative. So we're talking way back. And this beer now is one of our best-selling on-site beers. Still doesn't do really well out in the market because people don't know what they're getting. But at both tap rooms and at any of our local, places that sell us on a regular basis, Cervantes is on fire.
Really?
It's easy to go with food. It's easy to drink. Have a little bit. Hey,
Rick,
can I get a cup?
Yeah, we need a cup.
You're doing a tasting.
We need a cup here.
We need cups.
Yeah, we don't need
many
Need,
cups.
like big beers. Yeah, we got it all over here.
Notice how I'm doing it. So
all right. So we got let me pour that. You can talk.
I got it.
So we got George here with Central Coast Brewing, which has some amazing beers. I mean, we have let's see, we got some Pete's Pilsner here, which
named after my dad.
Which I like this one. I had this down in the San Luis Obispo.
Super easy to drink.
Business Expo.
Yeah, and then there's Pete's. So Pete's my dad.
Move that right there.
Pete's been dead since '99, unfortunately.
Sorry to hear that.
But he was the guy that made people do stuff at will, but they still did I volunteer to do something? Yeah. So he would go on a bike ride for breakfast, and you'd end up at breakfast, lunch, maybe dinner, because you're having so much fun. And
I like that.
That's
I really
good.
do.
Pizza's good. And that's what he would drink.
It's an everyday beer,
and it's a Eastern European lager that would be the Pilsner's family, all of that. What we have all grown up with as, that Czech, Italian. Europe.
This is what happens when you have your beer on there.
When you have a microphone where the beer should be. There we go. Safety third.
Yep, but I mean, so George, this space is large as far as your Pilsners, your IPs.
Pilsners, IPAs, hazies, black lagers, stouts, peanut butter stouts. I mean, all of it. But
I've had some Pilsners that it just tastes like eating
water.
Like drink. Well, that or
they're snappy
or drinking like mustard weeds.
Yeah, ooh. Yeah,
and it's really not, and so that's why
easy and clean.
So for me, I'm like a Coors Light guy, right?
And that's as close to a craft.
Totally.
The line in the sand, craft versus, macro, is just that.
And it's very, very
it's refreshing.
smooth.
It's smooth. It's good with food. It's good to just drink with a lawnmower.
There's not a lot of aftertaste.
No, it's clean. It doesn't have any of that. We don't filter that. That's It's that clear coming out of the tank. We don't filter it. You don't lose any flavor. You don't lose any alcohol. So it's got maybe 0.5% more alcohol than a normal filtered Pilsner.
Yeah, because we're at, what are we at? Where was that at? We got
I'll let you find it on there.
the percentage. We got 4.8%.
Yeah, which
So,
is mild now.
Just mild.
Yeah,
And so then right here, we have
5.2.
So I'm going to move this over here
Cervantes.
so everybody can see that. So we got the Cervantes.
Sugar Skull, named after one of our old brewers who's now our kitchen manager. And it's just a really easy drinking amber.
So I almost got a hint of barbecue in this.
Malty, it's the malt. The malt is the base grain taste. No smoke.
I like that too. This is delicious.
This is actually a better food beer. So when you think of crab,
So what would you put with this?
crab or Alaskan Amber, back in the 80s when they came out with an alt beer, and it was similar to this. It's, again, so fresh Dungeness crab, fresh salmon, fresh anything out of the sea. This is just so easy going as a pairing with that. It's great just to drink by itself, but it doesn't have any hop bitterness. But it's just got a nice malty, nice base carbonation, not bubbly like
No, not at all.
easy to drink.
It is not too hard
And if
hitting.
you're gonna have one beer at the bar, that's pretty hard to beat.
So George, are you at the point to where you're just content with what you got, or are you always?
No, we're innovating. We literally last week released 2 new beers. One goes into can next week. One's in keg now. It's called Beard Candy, just like out of your beard. So when your beard's sitting there and it's got a little drip, and it's like, oh, what's that? It's like beard candy. And it's a really light, easy drinking IPA. So it's still in the 6s. So IPAs can't be much below about 5.9. So a session IPA is kind of a misnomer, but it's an easy, mild, still hop forward IPA, and it's on tap, both locations, and it's called Beard Candy, and it's got another Sugar Skull. It's going to be canned, and so that's one of our brand new beers. We also have a light lager. So talking about going backwards, a light lager 12 years ago would have put us out of business. What are you doing making a light lager? No one's drinking light lagers. Well, now everybody's drinking light lagers. So the craft industry has been pivoting pretty consistently since like 2002 into what are people drinking, not what brewers want. Because the brewers were always drinking Pilsners. Every brewer that I know, when he reaches actually for a beer, it's typically a Pilsner. The Czech-style Pilsner is what I would say 70 to 80% of brewers grab in their own fridge, whether they made it or not. That's what makes them refreshing. There's always the guys that want an IPA. There's always the guys that want a hazy. But the general lager Pilsner flavoring and style is what most brewers will have as a casual beer. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just saying, I want something that quenches my thirst. It's going to be a Pilsner or a lager.
Well, I mean,
and most guys can't make them because one, it takes up tank space, and they're not easy to make. They're kind of a pain in the ass.
well, you've started this, years ago.
Right.
Now everybody's kind of
made all
jumping.
mistakes early.
Right. Well, trial and error.
Yeah.
Right. And so now you have a lot of these craft beers, these IPAs, these Pilsners. You have a lot of these beer makers opening up. They're, kind of bringing out their
Unfortunately,
own.
now as many that are opening are closing because now it's becoming a little less fun and a lot more business because you have to sell what you make. You just people just don't roll in and say, "Oh, you make craft beer, let me have some." Now you have to actually have a really good product.
So now you have to have a distribution.
You've got to have a business. You have to make a business out of it. It's a business. It's not a hobby. It's not a fun toy. You can be a toy. It's a great avenue for social. It's a great avenue for, emotional and social wealth. Is it going to make you any money? Probably not. And that's the reality of it. And wineries are the same boat. We've all, for years have said winery, brewery, distillery. They're all just making money hand over fist. Well, they're not. You know,
That's what the perception
yeah,
of it.
and it's like it's the reality is it's a lot of work, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of personal commitment, and you have to go to the festivals. You've got to go to the crush. You've got to put it in a barrel, put it in a can, put it in a keg. You know, you got to be there, and you've got to deal with good employees and fantastic employees, and you got to deal with shitty employees. You know, and
Yeah,
so for every
yeah,
3
everybody's
good
got
ones,
'em.
there's one shitty one, and you know, when it's just you and your partner, great, but that isn't big enough. No one's going to make any money with a 2-man band. So you have to have employees. You got to be open for 7 days a week. You got to be
labor
available
love.
to get, and you got to get it in the can. You got to get it to the market. You got to get it into a truck.
So how was it getting it to, like you just said, getting it to the market? So that transition 28 years ago, now you're starting to can it up. How was it
We've
to
been
get
canning
in?
since 2006, which is crazy when you think about it. That
Okay.
19 years ago, we were putting stuff in cans. Nobody was doing stuff in cans, but we were, because cans were cheaper. Cans were easier to stack. Cans were easier to ship. And I just said, I'm not afraid of the can, phobia as much as I am afraid of the shipping phobia. That when you're shipping a 22-ounce bomber bottle in 12 case lots, and I can ship the same amount of cans, I can ship 2 cases of cans for the same price as 1 case of bottles.
So you only bottle, or you only
Everything's
can.
in cans.
Everything's in
we
can.
have
No
one
bottles.
Beer. We have 1 beer in bottles. It's a rum barreled Imperial Stout.
God, that sounds
in
good.
a 375.
Oh my goodness.
And we have golf with us. Yeah.
Gosh, that sounds good.
So that's a specialty beer, and you're going to share that with someone. It's a small bottle, but it's still a share. But that's our bottle, and we hand bottle it, and we do 12 cases.
just a
15
minute,
cases.
just
Yeah,
a little
and
bit.
if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Wow. What's your favorite?
Right now, Pete's.
Yeah?
And again,
I
would have never made a Pilsner in my own
In the memory of your father.
Absolutely. To Pete.
Absolutely.
His birthday was June 16th.
Yes,
so
sir.
This was, but, there he is on his bike, and there's bikes all over the hub. People say, where all the bikes come from. Most of them are Pete's. And there's so much of him and my soul in both of the breweries that, selfishly, it's like a garage that has a little life to it. And, we do all these parties, and people from out of town and people that are local and people that become friends at our bar. We really are a cheers type of bar, and it's just fun to watch the interaction. 2 people from Sweden are sitting next to 2 people from Oakland and 2 people from San Luis. And at the end of the day, they're all changing numbers. What are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to play golf. Well, yeah, we got room. And there's just this, dynamic that you can't bottle. You can't can that. You can't can interaction. And like we had a wedding last night. The group, most of them are from Florida, New York, and Oakland for San Francisco.
How do they find you?
One of them went to Cal Poly, and it was just like
right.
So we'd met a long time ago. Now they're getting married, and where are they going to go? They're going to go to CCB, where they had great times, they had great memories. And now they're working and they're doing all their things, and just to watch all the interaction. We have a golf simulator. We've got pool.
Do you really?
Darts. Yeah.
Did you get the golf simulator from Copeland's?
I got it from through Costco through Topsider.
Did you really?
Yeah,
So
it's
you
really
got that?
fun.
You just shoot it right into
the screen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so like last night, 6 guys played longest drive. while and again, not to be sexist, but truly, their girlfriends and wives were actually hanging out with them. Not, you guys go play golf. We'll see you in an hour or 5 hours.
Right.
They were there, having a beer, having a glass of wine, playing golf.
So CCB, Central Coast Brewing, is an experience. It's not just a bar.
Yeah.
Right?
More than just beer, but beer is still why you come.
You come down there and it's beers. You got Pete's. You got Cervantes. You got almost fell over there.
Yeah, easy.
You got, I know, right?
Yeah,
Well,
whoa.
it's getting later in the day. George.
That's why I'm balanced here. I have this. It's more like a headgear than it is a.
Maybe I need one of
Yeah.
those. When it starts swinging, they're gonna like pull me off the mic here.
See?
But So they just come down there and it's just having a fun time. Are you guys open till midnight?
No, we close at 10 on
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. We're closed at 8 on weekdays because that's when people go to bed.
Awesome. So George, how do they find you? Where can they get more information?
CentralCoastBrewing.com is the easiest one. Follow us on Instagram, Central Coast Brewing, all spelled out. Facebook, Central Coast Brewing, easy. We've got 16 or 17,000 followers. I can't keep up.
Awesome. Now, in the brewery, do you guys have like wine club or not wine?
We have
brew
we have the
club
1420.
members?
We have Club 1422, which is people who either are legacy from the original location, which was the original address, 1422, and that's what people called it. It's a really great club. It's an annual. It's $150. You get a bigger drink than everybody else. You get special releases. We're just now getting ready to release the 1422 light lager, so that's going to go to them first. It's going to come out in late June, early July. We do an annual barbecue usually in the fall. They get a special shirt, which are actually at the printers now, and they get a bigger glass, and it's kind of fun. Just kind of reward people for being homies and hanging out with us.
Well, it sounds like a fun experience.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
It's good to see you.
George, thank you so much. Always love talking to you, man.
My pleasure.
Always love talking to you guys. We're out here at the 28th Annual Atascadero Lakeside Wine Fest. We're having a great-ass time. We're
Same years as us, 28 years.
28 years. We just talked about that. And, guys, if you want to check out these beers, you got to go down to CCB, Central Coast Brewing. We've got Pete's. We got Cervantes. We got Head Over Peels.
We got a hazy,
and we got this
Lucky
one
Day.
right here. The chai. That one's a good little spicy.
Did you try it?
That one's spicy. I had that one.
Okay,
I had that one. That one's spicy.
It is.
It is
But
spicy.
chai spice.
It
Chai
is spicy.
spice.
But all the good beers, like I said, right here. If you're a Coors Light drinker like me, you're gonna like this one here, which is where's it at? We got Pete's after his late father. We will be right back to What's Up North County.